Are you looking for affordable land in Florida? Today, I'm going to share with you 5 lots in Putnam County, all of which come with owner financing. So here's the agenda for today. So first, we are going to look at all the details about these 5 lots, including zoning, allowable uses, wetlands, flood zones, all of that. Then I'll go into the owner financing terms and how to buy, and we'll wrap up with our free land giveaway promotion. All right, so to start, I'm not a real estate agent. My company sells only properties that the company owns. And you can find all of our lots at land.gokept.com. Hi, Judith. Thank you for joining. Let me, one moment. There we go. Oh, and so I should say, anyone who's here live, please feel free to leave any questions in the comments and I will get to them as I'm going through all the details. All right, so our website is land.gokept.com, and the only properties on the website are properties that we actually own. That's why we can offer owner financing. So we do acquire properties throughout the entire US. We have an interactive map here. The red pins are the properties that are currently available. So you can click on a red pin to get a link to the property's main listing page. So right now we do have 97 lots currently available, including the 5 I'm about to go over. If your area of interest isn't showing up on the map, or the properties in your area of interest aren't of interest to you, we do have a text alert option. So you can sign up to receive text alerts whenever we post a property in your state, so you'll be the first to know. But let's get into the lots that we are looking at today. So we are here in northern Florida, just south of Jacksonville. And if you scroll down to the table below our map, we will be looking at properties down, number 794, 796, 798, 800, and 802. So now I should say that these numbers here that I just referenced, they are our internal numbering system. This 794 is not the lot number. So don't expect to see 794 on the deed, or don't use that number when calling the county. I'll show you the numbers that you would use if you wanted to call the county. They are here, but I'll show you them on the main listing page as well. However, if you wanted to find these properties on our listing site, you would use our internal numbering system. So again, that's 794, 796, 798, 800, and 802. Okay, so let's start with 794. This is 0.22 acres in Putnam County. And let me zoom out quickly. I did say we were in northern Florida, just to the south of Jacksonville. We are kind of in the central portion of the peninsula, widthwise, I should say. And this is a little more rural part of Florida. I like to say this is kind of like the old Florida, not quite as developed as other parts, not as expensive, a little more laid back, fewer restrictions, more privacy. You could come here to kind of more do your own thing. But in the nearby vicinity, we have to the east, the town of Palaca, which is the largest town in the county. And Palaca is off of the St. Johns River. There is a hospital in Palaca because I know healthcare can be important. The closest town, however, is Interlochen, which is just to the south. All of these properties are in this sort of subdivision. I say subdivision, but there's no HOA. But this subdivision up to the north of Interlochen. In Interlochen, you would find basic amenities. This area is also characterized by having a lot of little lakes. And Lake Grandin, which is the largest lake in the area, actually has pretty good fishing. In terms of outdoor recreation, there are also a lot of options in the nearby vicinity. Again, you have the St. Johns River, wildlife management areas, and state parks. So let's take a look at this lot. Now, on all our listing pages, we also have an interactive map with the approximate parcel boundaries embedded, so you get a sense of what the surrounding area looks like. And these parcel boundaries are approximate. They're not an official survey. So if you wanted to know the exact parcel boundaries and where they're located, you would want to get a survey done. But as you can see here, this is still, there is development going on in this area. Putnam County, because it's remained more affordable, it has historically been a little bit of a backwater, but now it's starting to see some more development as other parts of Florida are becoming more expensive. But you can see here there are homes that have been built in the area, but there's still a lot of green space. You'd have a little more privacy and space, not as many neighbors out here as you might in other parts of Florida. Okay, so the neighboring properties are vacant. The lot is wooded, but there are some homes in the nearby vicinity. And we can scroll down to look at the drone footage. So here you can again see that the property is wooded. It is off of a dirt road, which is in good condition. And let's take a look at the drone footage. So this is actually the drone footage of the property. So we start all our drone videos with an on-the-ground panoramic. So you get a good sense of what it looks like if you're on the ground or in the property, in case you can't visit. So again, this is currently wooded. Here you can see the plat map. And then let's get to the drone footage. So you'll see the nearby homes, the road, which is in pretty good condition, and the surrounding greenery. And you can watch that whole drone footage on our website. But let's go back to the main listing page. And on the main listing page, so as I said, I would show you where to find the number you would use if you wanted to do research with the county. So that's this number here, the assessor's parcel number. This would be the number you would use to ask the county about the property and have them pull up the lot. We do give you the legal description as well. Now this is Florida. We're very low elevation at about 185 feet. And on our listing page, we do give you all the approximate GPS boundary point coordinates. Again, these are approximate. You would want to get a survey done to know the exact location of all the GPS or all the boundary points. But these are a pretty good approximation of where the property is located. So if you went to visit the property, you could get a sense of where it is. We also give you a direct link to the approximate GPS center point coordinates in Google Maps, and you could use this to get directions to visit the property. I should say you're more than welcome to go visit the property, any of these properties at any time. You can just give us a call if you would like before you're going. And we do have street view here, although of course we had our panoramic view in the drone footage, but you can see the surrounding area here. And in terms of power lines, now this is power lines might be over here on Clifford Street. Let's check. Yeah, here the power lines are on Clifford Street. So keep that in mind if you were looking to build. Okay, so the annual taxes are very low. This is another reason they're about $90, and this is another reason why Putnam County is becoming more attractive. It's easy to pick up affordable land here if you wanted to build your own home and find a more affordable way to become a homeowner, or if you just wanted to pick up affordable land for your portfolio and your long-term investments. You can do that. The lots themselves are relatively low cost, and the annual carrying costs are fairly low as well. This is, though, an area where you are looking at a well and septic. And as I mentioned, you probably would have to extend power as well to this particular lot. Some of the others would have power lines closer by. So you would have to do that if you wanted to build. And this is also not an RV area for long-term RV living, I should say. But Putnam County does have some allowances for temporary RV use. Generally, if you're building a home or if your home's been destroyed by a disaster, I believe they also might have like a medical emergency or necessity option for temporary RV use, but you can call the county to go over some of those options if you feel like you need to be able to live in an RV for a temporary period. Having said that, the zoning is very flexible here. So this property is zoned residential 2, R2, and I'm going to pull that up in the zoning ordinance. You can also give the county a call. I always do recommend giving the county planning and building department a call to go over what you want to do with the property and whether that's allowed, and then sort of what permits you would need to use the property in the way that you would like, what the process is, all of that. But if you just look at their zoning ordinance, this area does allow for mobile homes, which is a big thing because a lot of areas are becoming more restrictive around mobile and manufactured homes. And those, of course, are some of the most affordable housing types. So it's generally the easiest way to become a homeowner, especially if you buy like a very affordable property and then put a mobile home on it. So that is allowed as our regular, just stick-built single-family homes, and then they do allow recreation. Now, another exciting thing, this is not noted in the zoning ordinance, but according to our research, tiny homes are allowed. I would again confirm this with the county, but in this particular zoning district, according to our research, you do have to have a minimum size of 400 square feet, but as long as it's over that size and the property is no longer on wheels, so it must be attached to an actual foundation. If you meet those two requirements and connect to a well and septic tank, you would be able to put a tiny home on the lots here, which again is also really big. A lot of counties are restricting tiny homes, or they haven't caught up with the whole tiny home craze. So that's really, I think, a big benefit to Putnam, to buying land in Putnam County. So, but again, give the county a call. You can talk to them about what you would like to do and what is and isn't allowed. Okay. So that covers number 794. Let's go. Oh, you know what? I forgot to pull this one up in Land ID. Sorry, one moment. So I do like to show you Land ID. This is the website we use to do all of our basic research, online research, I should say. So looking at things like special hazard flood zones, wetlands, and soils. And so we use this as a way to screen properties. So I like to share this with you. Okay. Now, one thing I will say is a lot of these properties that we just purchased, if you're looking at them on an online database like Land ID, the ownership name might not be updated yet, but you can always give the county assessor a call to confirm that we are the owners, and we can share a copy of the deed with you as well. And these databases should all be updated shortly. So let's take a quick look at some of the overlays. So there are no conservation easements here, and that's good. A conservation easement would restrict allowable uses. It's a very flat lot. Again, the elevation is low. We're in Florida. And there is no special hazard flood zone, which is also a really good thing in Florida that can be hard to find. And there are no wetlands. In terms of soils, it does share the same soil type as a lot of the surrounding areas where you see construction. So that's a very good sign for a perk test and a septic system. Okay, so again, this was number 794 on our website. If you're interested in this property, it's 0.22 acres in Putnam County. You can find it by looking for number 794 on our main listing page, which is land.gocap.com. I'll now move on to 796. And this one, A lot of what I just mentioned on our first property applies to all of these other lots. So things like zoning, surrounding area, information about the county, RVs, all of that. For the next four, I'm mainly just going to show the photos, the location, and the land ID stats because everything else is similar. Mobile homes allowed, tiny homes allowed, RVs would only be temporary use if you meet certain requirements. Okay, so this one, if we zoom out, is in a similar location. We're just to the east of Lake Grandin, which does have good fishing, from what I've heard. And also, this is an area your neighboring parcels are vacant, so you have a little more privacy, but there are some homes built in the area. So let's take a look at drone footage. Now, the nice thing about this one is there are power lines fronting the lot. So if you wanted to build, you wouldn't have to incur the cost of extending power lines. It is fronted by a dirt road, which is in good condition, just like all the properties in this subdivision. Here's ground view. See, road's in pretty good condition. Nice green surroundings. And I'll pull up the drone footage as well. So we'll start with the on-the-ground panoramic. So you can see what it looks like on the ground. There are the power poles. And then here's the drone footage. So construction in the area, but still a lot of space, a lot of greenery if you're looking for more privacy, more of that rural feel. And I'll pull this one up in land ID as well. So we can just check for special hazard flood zone, wetlands, all of that. And let's remove, So again, similar soil to the other one. We know that homes have been built on this soil type. Good sign for septic system. There are homes nearby as well. And there is no, let me turn off the soil layer. There's no special hazard flood zone. As with the other property, this is a flat lot. And there are no wetlands either. So this would be potentially a good lot for putting a mobile home or a tiny home on. And that was number 796 on our main listing page, which is again land.goatcap.com. So now we'll move down to 798. And like I said, all the information I went over on the first property applies to this one. Mobile homes allowed, tiny homes allowed, RVs only temporary use in certain specific circumstances. So let's take a look at where it is. And all of these are same size, about 0.22 acres. We're in a similar area, a little closer to Lake Grandin, also surrounded by vacant land, but there are homes nearby too. And we can look at drone footage. It looks like power lines are down here, so you might have to extend power. Skyscrapers, not in this area. And there are power lines here, so you might have to extend a little bit, about one parcel over, it looks like. And here, let's take a look at the, oh, Zaphael, I forgot to give you your air horn. Thanks for joining. Okay, so here's on the ground panoramic. So you can see footage from on the ground. There are the power lines over there. And here we can see the drone footage. Very nice green area. So this would be another decent lot for tiny home or mobile home. You would have to extend power a little ways. That would be one thing to keep in mind. Or no, wait. I can't tell if power is, no, it might end here. But you can verify that with the county. All right, and I'll pull this one up in land ID so we can check for, yeah, winter's coming. I don't miss shoveling snow. I will say that. Okay, so let's pull it up in Land ID so we can check for special hazard flood zone and wetlands on this one as well. Also a flat lot. This whole area is going to be flat. It is Florida, of course. No special hazard flood zone and no wetlands. And the soil, similar soil type to all of the surrounding areas as well. Again, good sign for septic system. So this one, 0.22 acres, it's number 798 on our listing page. These are all 0.22 acres. And we'll move on to number 800. So this one is also 0.22 acres. This is kind of on the eastern edge of the subdivision. There are homes nearby, just across the street, I should say. There should be power lines here. This is a corner lot. That's very nice for some people. And we can see power lines. Yep, power lines are fronting the property. So this would also be a really good option if you're looking to build, whether that's a mobile home, tiny home, or a standard stick-built home. And we can pull up the drone footage. So here's the on-the-ground view. Power lines. And the dirt roads are in good shape. And the satellite view. Corner lot again. Okay. And let's pull this one up in Land ID just to check for, again, special hazard flood zone and wetlands. That's very important in Florida. So no special hazard flood zone, no wetlands, and it does have a slightly different soil from the area where a home was built, but we saw this soil type on some of the other lots, and there were homes that were built on the soil type. So again, a good sign for septic. Okay, so that was number 800. And we are down to our last property, 802, another 0.22 acre property. And this one is down a little closer to Interlochen. Hi, Southern Grits. Good to see you. Oh, you're our local, right? I hope everyone's having a wonderful Sunday. Thank you for joining me on a Sunday afternoon. So if you want to be a little closer to amenities, this would be a good option. You see there's the market right over here. There's a small state forest nearby as well. Building supplies over here if you are looking to build a home. And there are a number of homes, again, in this nearby vicinity. And just to the north is a conserved area. So a lot of green space just to the north. And let's look at our drone footage. Also has a well-maintained dirt road, like all of these properties. And here's the actual drone with the on-the-ground view. Might need to look for where the closest power lines are. It doesn't look like there are power lines right in front of this one. But there's a number of homes nearby, so there's got to be power lines not too far away. I think over here. So you might have to extend 2 parcels over or so. Let's see again in the Google view. And as with the other properties, similar zoning. If we go down, R2, so that would be mobile homes allowed, tiny homes allowed, RVs only temporarily under certain specific circumstances. And of course, regular stick-built homes are allowed. So power lines would be over here. Yep, right here. So you will have to extend, it looks like, maybe 2 parcels over if you wanted to build and get electricity. Yeah. Okay. And then let's also pull this one up in Land ID so we can check for special hazard flood zone and wetlands. Right. There's also a lake near this one too, which is kind of nice. It's near a lot of green spaces. So it does have the same soil type as this home down here. Good sign for septic. And we'll turn off the soil layers. No special hazard flood zone. There is this, I think it's like a marshland. I think that's all wetlands too. Yeah, there's all this conserved marshland or wetland to the north, giving a nice green space. Pond down here, but no wetlands on the property itself. And it is flat like the other properties. So that was number 802 on our website here. And again, you can find all of the properties at land.goatcap.com. I like stick built, but I'm too old for that now. Oh, I'm sure you're still young at heart, right, Judith? But again, we just looked at number 802, 800, 798, 796, and 794 on our main listing page. And these numbers are internal numbering system. These are not the lot numbers, but you can find them on our listing page using all these numbers: 794, 796, 798, 800, 802. And now that brings us to owner financing and the price. So as I mentioned earlier, we do offer owner financing on all of our properties. And I'll cover those in a minute, but I'll show you the prices. So number 802 is priced at $8,995, and the other four, I should say, are priced at $795. And that price, there we go, $7,995. The other four are priced at $7,995, and 802 is priced at $8,995. That does include the dock fee. And of course, we do offer owner financing. So with owner financing, we don't have set owner financing terms. We like to tailor the terms to meet the needs of each individual buyer. That means that if you're thinking about owner financing, just reach out to us and let us know what kind of down payment and monthly payment would work for your budget, and we will come up with terms that make the property affordable for you. There are two things, though, that I want to be upfront about with owner financing. So the first is that we can offer lower interest rates for higher down payments. So that's something to keep in mind when you're thinking about budgeting for owner financing. The other thing is that we say no building on or living on the property, anyone living on the property, for the duration of the loan term. And this is for liability reasons. But you can use the property for recreational purposes as long as you're in compliance with all local rules and regulations. And we do sometimes allow minor improvements like clearing, fencing, maybe putting a small storage structure on the property. So if you're interested in something minor like that, which doesn't require a permit, just let us know and we'll work with you. The other thing is, for those who are interested in building in the near future, one option that you have is to get a more conventional construction loan and at the time that you're ready to build, and use that to pay off the owner financing loan. And actually, if you pay off the owner financing loan early, we do give you cash back. So if you pay off in the first 6 months, you'll get 5% cash back on the purchase price. Skyscrapers. And then if you pay off in 12 months, you'll win 2.5% cash back on the purchase price. We do also offer a 365-day land exchange guarantee. So what this means is that in that first year, when you're financing the property, If another property comes into our inventory that you just absolutely love, you can exchange for that new property. You just need to pay the new dock fee. So this way you know that you're going to get a property that you love. Also, all of our properties do come with a freedom bundle of 9 bonuses. So this is for both cash and owner financing. And these bonuses include monthly landowner Q&A calls with me, a complimentary vacation voucher, hotel savings card, and restaurant savings card to offset the cost of visiting the property or getting a vacation to celebrate land ownership. You do also have the option of requesting a 30-minute architectural consultation with me because I do have a background in architecture. And every purchase comes with a homesteading guide, building and zoning guide, and post-closing checklist, along with our neighbor lookup tutorial. Because many times with these rural properties, the neighboring properties are vacant, and it can be hard to get in touch with the owners. So here you can look up their address and send them a nice letter to introduce yourself. So every purchase comes with these bonuses. They do have a value of $5,675, and you get them when the deed is recorded. So that's upfront with cash or at the end of the loan term with owner financing. And if you would like to purchase a property or you want to talk about the property in more detail, do ask us some questions, go over our owner financing, and learn more about the process. You can book a call at any time with my team. You can go to book.gocap.com or just click contact on our website and click book your free call to book a call with the team. They're very knowledgeable. They'll go over what you're looking for, try to help figure out whether the lot will work for you, and then we'll discuss if you're looking for owner financing, the owner financing terms, and how to buy. Where does architecture and engineering collide? Is this a pun or a riddle? And also, if you want some time to do your due diligence, because that's of course very important whenever you purchase property, we do offer a hold option. So this would take the property off market, meaning no one else can buy the property while you're doing your due diligence. So visiting the lot, calling us, calling the county, doing what you need to do to feel comfortable that you want to move forward. You can hold it for up to 8 days. It's $2. It's $50 for 2 days, every 2 days, again, up to 8 days. And when you hold the property, as I said, it'll be taken off market. No one can buy it while you do your research. That process is all automated. If you want to hold the property, you just click buy or hold and click hold, go through the automated checkout process. If you're ready to buy with cash as well, we do have an automated cash checkout process too. That's that buy button down below the hold button. And of course, if you're interested in owner financing, just reach out to us. You can book a call with my team to go over your options and what might work for you. Okay, so again, you can find all of our properties, including these 5, at land.gocap.com. We are also live daily at 5 p.m. Eastern. So if you're in the market for land and you are looking at other listings and you would like a free review of those listings by my partner and I, as well as our team of land enthusiasts, you can join any day at 5 p.m. Eastern, leave your property in the chat, and we will review it live for you for free. Otherwise, just join us any day live at 5 p.m. Eastern to look at some interesting properties. And again, if you want to purchase these 5 lots or learn more about them or any of our properties, you can go to land.gocap.com. And I did mention at the beginning of this live stream, we have a free land giveaway promotion. So if you really want affordable land, we are giving away a property for free on January 1st. We'll be giving it away live at 2 p.m. Eastern. And you can find more information on the YouTube channel homepage. Just search Gokche Capital in YouTube and go down to the free land giveaway promotion. So we will be giving away the lowest value property in our inventory. Oh, yeah. Yes, yeah. Oh, so how are they different? Yeah. yeah, I think of architecture generally as like the person who designs the overall building. Like you think about how the different spaces align, how the different systems fit within the overall structure, where they go, how people flow through the building, and then of course the aesthetics. So what it looks like. Generally, architects try to make buildings pretty, and then engineering is more like strictly the making it stand up side of things. But I know architects sometimes get a bad rap in the engineering and contracting communities because occasionally they like to design things that are not necessarily structurally feasible or would be very difficult to make structurally feasible. So, but ideally, a really good architect would actually know how things are put together and constructed as well. So, I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, Raphael, because you're a builder, right? Or you used to be a builder. So. But yeah, for the free land giveaway promotion, just check out the video. It's only 2 minutes long. It tells you how to participate. And we will be giving away, again, the lowest value property in our inventory live at 2 p.m. Eastern on January 1st. Okay. So thank you for watching. Again, all of our properties are at land.gocap.com. And I hope to see you on one of our daily live streams.